welcome back to What Are Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG that we've come to know and love as Fifi La Pew Pew, but other people know as a Leffy or a Leaf Blower. This one's on the south spawn of Erlenberg and it's under the command of Hawkeye6121. Game on. Now, as you know, the Fifi is one of the two Arty that is a premium in the game. In fact, there's only two premium SPGs, which is kind of curious considering the numbers of premium vehicles like TDs, medium tanks, light tanks and heavy tanks in the game. There's a huge number of premiums, and yet Wargaming only chooses to introduce two premium SPGs, and the reason for that is the whining idiots who play tanks are not able to cope with premium SPGs, so in catering to their whines, Wargaming doesn't put more SPGs into the game, lest it causes many of the players to leave the game out of fury and frustration. Well, they should just grow up and learn to play with Arty. Rounds out the strip, direct hit. You can see with that one hit just below the turret. Now, since the nerfs, you'll know that the Fifi is actually still performing very well. Indeed, I don't think Wargaming can actually nerf it, mainly because if they were to do so, they might get sued and people might demand their money back. Because after all, they sold this Arty with a specific set of characteristics, and if you change those characteristics, well, then people might say, well, you've breached your contract and therefore we want our money back. So this Arty is still as powerful as ever, and in fact a lot of people are choosing to play it simply because it's still the same old Arty, same accuracy, same fast reload rate and same characteristics. Nice hit there on the KD1. Unfortunately, the enemy is getting rather close to the cap area. In fact, he's auto-aimed onto that KD1 now. He's not even bothering to go to aim mode. He's just auto-aiming on and blasting away. In fact, the KV1 is just across the other side of the river. His next round actually goes into the furniture, the destructible furniture. Who's he going to auto-aim onto this time? Well, there's the KV1. He's now aiming. Yes, it's easier. You will get direct hits with an aim, and he's gone. Okay, can you get another shot into this strip? M4257 turns out. Yep, that was a big hit, and it hit the same spot where he hit previously. And that guy's down. Now, they still have some tanks in the south area of the map, in the castle actually specifically. There's a Stug 3B in there, but I don't think he's got a shot on that guy at the moment from this position. So, yes, with a general nerf on most Arty, Wargaming has not touched the Fifi, and it's still playing as it did before. So, obviously, Arty players are taking advantage of that to brush up their skills. And we're getting surprising results. In fact, a lot of people are seeing big jumps in their MOE stats, the Mark of Excellence. Because, of course, if the average damage of Arty goes down, as it has for many of the other types of Arty, then as a result, you end up with much more damage from people who are experienced players, and they get higher MOEs. For those who don't understand MOEs, and there are a few people out there, but most players do understand it, it is basically a measure of your average damage against the other average damage from other players in the game. So it's comparing like for like, apples for apples and oranges for oranges. So you get to see how good you are against other people. And of course, if you can get to 65% or better than 65% of the other players in the game, you will get your first mark of excellence on the barrel. When you get to 85%, you get 2 marks, and when you get to 95%, better than 95, oh, he's found the enemy Arty. There we go. Oh, and that one fell short. Now, I think he's going to probably get another chance, but that gorilla looks like his days are over. A direct hit for 179, and he goes out of the game. Now from this position, he can just about shoot up Main Street of the town. Rounds out. Oh, that hit the building, unfortunately. Direct hit there. Looks like he hit the superstructure just underneath the gun. In fact, it might have bounced off the gun into the superstructure. The yellow mark is actually on the gun itself, so that would have caused a critical hit. Rounds out. Direct hit. 100 hit points there. Again, it looks like it hit the gun. We're pushing into the enemy area. In fact, we're 3 tanks up on the enemy now. There's the box tank. Oh, Cromwell may have made a mistake here. I don't think he can get around that box tank. And I think that Cromwell might get wiped out by him. And I'm afraid he has got wiped out, but not by the box tank, by a Panzer III Aslains J. Okay, we're aiming at a T6 medium at the other end of the map, who's guarding the enemy cap area. That landed near him. Almost in front of him, actually. Rounds out. That might be a bit late. But he actually does pick up some splash from that shell. The splash radius of this gun is only 2 meters, so you have to get the shell fairly close to get a splash. That was a bit too far away. Actually, this is much better view. I'm trying to adjust the field of fire. In fact, I may have been a bit harsh on Jonas the other day, actually, concerning the field of fire, because it looks and appears to me that Wargaming may have altered something to do with how the replays present the video. I think he was trying to kill a tank that apparently had drowned itself. Okay, there's only 3 left on the enemy team, 4 on Hawkeye's team, and he's moving forward to get to the enemy cap area. Now, it might be better for him to actually go through the buildings in the town. If you sit on the water's edge like this, it does make you susceptible to being shot at by somebody you can't see. But he's elected to do this. Oh, he might have to go into the water. He's got probably no choice here. Mind you, he could cross the water, cross the river. Our guys are fairly close to the cap. There's one of the enemy. It's a Type 58, the Chinese version of the T-3485. There he is, dialing in. Let it settle. That's it. Rounds out. Direct hit for 132. It says that's close, but I'm sure that hit. Or did it? It may have been directly in front of him. 146 from that one. Can he track him in the water? Rounds out. Yes, he did. Now, can he hold him there until he is killed? Rounds out. Another hit that tracks him. And one more hit should kill him. Let it settle. Rounds out. No, it went too long. He's probably going to fix his tracks. Oh, now what happened there? Did he move? And as a consequence, and the Type has got away. He's starting to move again. No. Oh, that's not good. The Type 58 has got away now. That's out. No, hit the building. He's not fully dialed in now, you see. And now he's lost sight of the Type, so we don't know where he is. But he fires a blind shot in. Yeah, I think he had a sudden moment when the Arty moved and he changed aim, and as a consequence, he wasn't able to get the shot on target. And yes, I said it was a bit of a bad mistake going through this area. He should have gone through the buildings. Okay, he's moving to the cap now. I just hope that the enemy doesn't spot him, because there are 3 enemies out there. A Panzer III, or Panzer III J, a Hellcat and a Type 58. And we know that the Panzer III was on the east side of the map, and now we're down to 2 players. The Hellcat is capping, but he's got no armour. And if the Type 58 is there, he'll probably get a reset. And yeah, it appears that the Type 58 did kill the KV-1. And it looks like the Hellcat is being hit and reset. So although it looked like they were going to win this one, now it looks like they're going to lose it. And we've lost the Hellcat, which now means that Hawkeye is the last member of his team alive. And that Type 58 that he failed to kill is still around. In fact, he's just down there, and the Hellcat, enemy Hellcat's turned up. And the Type 58, well, he hasn't got gun depression, so he can't kill that guy unless he dives into the water. And that's what he's trying to do. Oh, he fluffed his shot! And although he ram killed the Type 58, the enemy Panzer III Aslains goes into the water. He shotguns him, but now we've got the enemy Hellcat running south. Oh dear, what does he do now? Can he get into the cap? He tries an aim shot at the Hellcat, but that guy's gone. And he's not going to get up this cliff here easily. In fact, the thing is, he's probably going to have to cross the water at this deep point here, get across the other side, and then come back across the water in order to just get across and then come back across to start capping. But if the enemy Hellcat starts capping in the meanwhile, and he has, oh no! There's not a lot that Hawkeye can do. He probably won't be able to make it back to the cap in time to stop the cap. If he stops to lob shells in, it'll be pure luck if he hits the Hellcat. And the Hellcat can pick a spot where he's inside the cap, but Arty's safe. Because you remember, there's a building right on the edge of the cap that vehicles can hide behind. And Wargaming put that into the cap deliberately to allow people to cap securely without being reset by Arty. Oh no, this is all going wrong. They were 3 tanks up at one point, and now it looks like they're going to lose it. And I don't think you can get through that gap, Hawkeye. Not easily, not without having to scramble over the rubble. He's looking as he's moving, but nope, he can hide behind the building. He's fired a rough shot while he's going. That's all he can do. With 29 seconds left on the clock, it looks like he's going to get there just at the moment that Hellcat caps out to win. He's firing at the bushes, hoping that the guy's gone in there, but I think you'll find he's behind the building there. And there's no way we're going to get him if he's behind that building. We can't even splash him because our splash radius is too small. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2. And that's it. Yep, he's won. Oh dear. So I'm afraid this one is a defeat. Let's have a look at the second replay. In the second replay, we've got ProvoBob in his Fifi, and he's on the north spawn of Cliff. Game on. Well, ProvoBob is an Aussie, yes, because he's got a kangaroo on the side of his, on the shield, his gun shield. In fact, he always does that. He puts a kangaroo on them. He's proud to be an Aussie. And, well, he's also got some rather interesting battle marks on his vehicle as well. So he's obviously played the Fifi a lot. And he's got really great results in it as well. Now, continuing our replays to see if they have actually made any changes. And one of the things that players are telling me is that they are getting some very surprising results. But one thing is unchanged, the Fifi is still very powerful. So it is an Arty that you can choose to play deliberately because you will benefit. Now, oh dear, it does look as if Wargaming have altered the sighting. So when we do the replays and you do the battle assistant, it becomes very difficult to spot the enemy unless you come out of aim view. Okay. I'm trying to adjust it. You can see here, I'm trying to pull away so we can actually see, but it's so close that, well, it's basically, you can't see what's going on around. And, well, Chaffee's turned up on top of the hill, next to the lighthouse. First shot didn't hit target, but can he get a shot this time? Rounds out. Very close. He got splashed. 35. Remember, this Arty will do 410 alpha. It'll penetrate 53mm of armor, and that looks like that was a penetration. It looks like a penetration mainly because he lost almost 400. Well, it was a large roll. If it was a non-penetrating shot, it would be half of 410, so 205 plus or minus 25%. Okay, there's a huge number of enemy tanks to aim at. He's decided, instead of the Chaffee, because of course that guy's hiding, to go after the KV-1, and he hit him. Yep, there was no explosions, so he definitely hit the KV-1. Well, he's decided to change position to avoid counter battery. Yes, a lot of players are trying counter battery for the first time because they may not have done so in the past, but they're doing so now because Wargaming have put in these tracers, and of course it's very easy to see where the tracer starts, but not easy to work out exactly where the Arty is, because the tracer starts some distance away from the actual Arty itself. But it's quite an incentive to work out and find out where the enemy Arty is to try and kill them. He thought one of them might be in that bush. It normally helps to go to overhead mode if you can. If you go to overhead mode, then it becomes a lot easier to see where to aim. Now this is interesting. I've just pressed the G key and now we can see the action. So I think I'm going to stick with this. Maybe Wargaming screwed up something concerning the new strategic view mode. Now he was aiming at T67, but I don't think that T67 pulled back that far because the other washing on the line wasn't destroyed. He can now see an AMX ELC going up to the top of the hill, so he can pre-aim ahead of him. Get it ready now. Rounds out and oh, close, so close. Only 3 hit points of damage, but it warns that AMX ELC that if he stays there, he's going to get hit. Okay, Panzer 3 Ausstellung, no, Panzer 3 4. Get it right. You'd think that I would actually speak German a lot better, considering my grandma was German, or was born German, and my father was born in Germany as well. I really ought to work on my German. Well, he's trying to hit the enemy tanks that are hiding behind that cliff, but he has got some other targets he could hit, but he's decided he's going to go after that KV-1. That's the one he hit earlier. And you can see he's already lost 16% of his health. Rounds out. This looks like a hit. Oh, now RNG put that shell to one side. Let it dial in, Bob. Let it dial in. That's it. Oh, no, he pulled back. But the M10's gone. Now, let it settle. Rounds out. This looks good. Again, RNG sending the shells to the right. Now, he kind of pulled that one as he fired, and it went to the left this time. That KV-1's taking a lot of damage. He dials in behind him, and this time round he gets the direct hit, which kills him. So, the scores are even at the moment, so it's still anyone's game. That T-67 decided to get down the cliff the hard way. He went over the edge of the cliff, and he survived, surprisingly. I think there is a spot there where you can go down. But that was an enemy Arty, I think, or was it one of our own? We do have another Arty in the game. It's an M41HMC. Whoa, there's the enemy Gorilla. Let's see if we can do some damage to that guy. Rounds out. Long flight. Oh, direct hit wipes him out for 315. That was probably a penetrating shot. We'll probably see that in the end of battle results. It feels like I feel like I should apologise to Jonas now, because it may be that I was using the wrong mode, pressing the wrong buttons, and as a result his replay was a little more difficult to see. Oh, that Panzer 3 4 actually committed suicide. He ran over the side of the cliff deliberately, and I think he's just given up the game. We've got an AMX ELC up on the cliff top, but we can't see him. There he is. He's in sight now. Bob, you can see him. He's in sight. Bob's not looking. I think Bob's doing something else. You're not playing the game, Bob. Come on, Bob. Earth to Bob. Earth to Bob. Are you there? No, something's distracted him. He's probably answering the telephone, or the wife's come in and he's had to deal with something. Children running under his feet, and well, Bob's... Oh, he's finally come back. Right. Churchill 1, looks good. Direct hit, 135. Okay, get another one on this guy. He's pulled back. No shot there. There is one other Arty on the enemy team. It's an SU-122A. There's the T-67 again. That's the one who run down the side of the cliff. Oh, and our VK3001H decided to slide down, but he lost hit points when he did it. And I think he's also going to die now because that T-67 has got him down to one shot. Yep, he did die. Okay, the Churchill ones come to the corner, which means now that ProvoBob can finally finish him off. No, that went long. That's it. Line it up. Let it dial in. Round out. Yep. Yes! Good hit. Penetrating shot. 406. Now, let's finish him off with this round. Rounds out. And, oh, it went too long. Line up another one. I think that's on the cliff, though. It actually went to the right and missed altogether. Now, he's actually running short on ammo. He's only down to 27 rounds now. An SU-85's appeared in the sniper nest up at grid square K5. Is it K6? It's K5. But ProvoBob's decided he's going to drive towards a bit closer to the enemy. I think he was worried that he might not be able to actually get an accurate shot at this distance. Rounds out. Is he in that corner? No. Our teammates seem to be firing on that corner, so it must be that he's there. The trees in the background haven't been knocked down. That's a favourite spot for tank destroyers to go as well. Oh, the shell went really to the right on that one. Bob's loaded lots of HE, but he is running kind of short now. Yeah, I like to go to that position there because if you knock the trees down, it actually does provide some really good cover. And it's not where most people expect tank destroyers to be on that area of the rock. They expect them to be on that corner. Oh, enemy Arty's been spotted! Yes, quickly go over to the other one. That's it. Line him up. Let it dial in. You can do this, Bob. If you do get this, it's counter battery. She will have killed both Arty. Rounds out. No, it wasn't fully dialed in, Bob. Let it settle. That's it. He's sitting in the bush. He's stationary. That's it. Rounds out. Yes, he gets him. That's a counter battery. He's got a medal. The Churchill's there. Rounds out. It goes long. Come on, you can do it. He fires long there deliberately. He actually aimed behind the guy thinking he was going to pull back. But the Churchill has gone. The M41 got him. That now means that there's only two enemies left. The KV-1 and the SU-85. Bob's got 3 kills. So has our SU-85. He could platoon if he wanted to. Rounds out. Now he doesn't have to worry about counter battery. There's the SU-85. He did move to the bushes. He probably saw those trees fall over and thought, oh, I'll go in there now. And unfortunately, it's not going to work out too well for him because, yes, he's just got killed by ProvoBob. Bob got him. And that means now there's only one enemy left. It's the KV-1. Now, he was seen right up by the cliff edge, and we haven't seen him since. Our SU-85's moving up to take a look. And ProvoBob's platooned with the SU-85. So if they both survive the battle, he'll get a Brothers in Arms as well. Both got 4 kills. Now, did that KV-1 go over the edge of the cliff? And is he stuck on the ledge? If he's stuck on the ledge, just go and cap. Yes, he is stuck on the ledge. I'm not sure the the SU-85 can actually get at him. No, you can't get at him. No, he's right at the bottom, so time to cap. Yep, you're not going to get anyone who's gone down there. The only way to get someone like that is to dive over the edge of the cliff onto him and try and hope that you can then force him to fall into the water and drown. But if you do try that, you're more than likely going to drown yourself in the process, and there's no guarantee that you will be able to take him out. So the best thing to do is for ProvoBob to go to the enemy cap right this minute and cap out and win this one. No, the other way, Bob. To the enemy cap. I have the feeling that ProvoBob thinks he can put a shell down there. So he's trying to get to a firing position so he can land around in that direction. No, he's decided he needs to cap. Yeah, you haven't got enough time, Bob. You really haven't. It would be nice for you to help the SU-85 get an invader medal. By the time you get to the cap area, he will have almost completed the cap. There's no way the KV-1 can come back to stop the cap, so somebody's going to pick up a medal. 2-minute hooter. They've got this one in the bag. Yeah, the SU-85 was saying you could hit it from the cap. I'm not so sure you can, but it's worth giving it a try. No, Bob's decided he's going to try from here. I don't think you can, Bob. I really don't think you can. It's nice to appreciate somebody's Fifi and their game without having to worry about them getting hit right at the end of the game. Because effectively they've got it in the bag. It doesn't happen that often, but it does happen occasionally. This is a secured victory. And you can see all those symbols. He's got 3 high calibers. And, well, medals for multiple kills. He does play his VP a lot. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. And the SU-85's capped out, and this is a victory. And he gets an invader medal. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats for this game. Here's the end of battle results, and yes, it was a third class tanker for Hawkeye6121 in his Fifi. He managed to get a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, and he got a kamikaze when he killed the Type 58, dived into the water and ram killed him. He killed a higher tier opponent, that was a tier 6 medium, and he killed him with a tier 5 Arty. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he managed to get 10. And his win rate from the battle was 5,315. But sadly it was a defeat. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game because that Hellcat got the highest damage. He did 2,497 hit points. Picked up a high caliber and an invader. The next highest damage was Hawkeye with 1,968, and the third highest damage was his box tank with 1,633. When it came to kills, I'm afraid, yes, it was that Type 58. He got the most kills, 4 kills to him. 3 kills went to the Hellcat and also to the Churchill 3 on Hawkeye's team, and Hawkeye got 2 kills alongside the box tank and the Thunderbolt on his team, and that matched the T40 on the enemy team. When it went to base XP, I'm afraid the Hellcat got the most with 905, 813 went to the Type 58, 707 went to the box tank, and if we look at this list we can see that Hawkeye actually came 5th on base XP because he was only other beaten by the Panzer III who managed to get a Confederate, and the T1 Heavy, he got a Confederate as well. So let's have a look at detail. He fired 38 rounds in that game, got 12 direct hits and 2 penetrations, 17 splash. Damage of 1,968 hit points, of which 1,361 were at more than 300 meters. He did receive 2 hits. Both were penetrations. They came from the tanks when he was actually up at the river at the far end of the map. He also got spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2, and did 363 hit points of damage assistance. On a free player count, he earned 29,476 credits. But after repair and ammunition resupply, and yes, he did fire premium ammo, and that's why he's ended up with a small loss on this game of 2,682 credits. He got 581 base XP, 154 for this being a premium vehicle, took away 735 experience points altogether. I'm afraid his team melted away. There were 3 tanks ahead of the enemy at one point. It looked like there was going to be a certain victory, but sadly, I'm afraid they got taken out by that Hellcat and the Type 58. If only his shot had actually landed on that Type 58 a little sooner, then he might have been able to actually then take out the Hellcat, who'd actually run out of ammunition. And so all he could do at the end of the game was run back to Hawkeye's cap and start capping. And sadly, Hawkeye just didn't have the speed to get back in time to get a reset. We knew exactly where he was. He was hiding behind that building in the cap, and that's why he was safe. So there you go, a bit of a heartbreak at the end of that one, but the Fifi is still fairly OP, and you can see that from the scores at the end of the game, and the fact that he got a high win 8, a Super Unicum win 8. Let's have a look at the second battle. Well, that was the one with ProvoBob, and he managed to get a second-class tanker in that game. He also got a demolition expert because he blew up one of the enemy tanks. I think that may have been the Gorilla. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, and he got 4 exactly. A counter battery because he took out both enemy Arty, the Gorilla and the SU-122A. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits in this one. He managed to get 10. And because he platooned with the SU-85, he also picked up a Brothers in Arms for having at least 3 kills and his platoon mate having at least 3 kills at the end of the game. His win rate, again, was a Super Unicum one, 5,663, almost the same as Hawkeye's. But unfortunately, fortunately for ProvoBob, his was a winning game. And it was a reduced numbers game as well, because I think you can see in this list that, yes, it wasn't a full deck. You've only got 4, 6, 8, 11 players in this game. Yep, so there were some bots in the game. And surprisingly, one of the bots was that KV-1 who fell off the cliff. Yep, and that may have been the reason why he did fall off the cliff. He just drove in the wrong direction. The highest damage was done by the SU-85 on the enemy team. He got 2,426 firing up in that sniper's nest and picked up a high caliber. The second highest damage was ProvoBob. He got 1,878 in that game, picked up a Brothers in Arms and of course the counter battery. And the third highest damage in the game was the KV-1 on the enemy team with 1,364. That's the one that ProvoBob took out. When it came to base XP, or it was actually kills first, ProvoBob, the SU-85 on his own team and the SU-85 on the enemy team all managed to get 4 kills apiece, so they shared the top spot. But when it came to base XP, we can see that it was ProvoBob got the highest base XP in that game for 766. The second place person was the SU-85 on the enemy team with 548 because he got the high caliber. And the third highest base XP was the SU-85 who capped out his platoon mate. He got 534. ProvoBob fired 38 rounds in that game, got 8 direct hits and 4 penetrations. Yes, he seems to be getting a lot of pens in this game. 11 splash, damage of 1,878 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. I'm fascinated to find out which ones did he actually pen in that game. Let's have a look at the list. We can see that he didn't pen any of those. He did pen the Churchill 1, so he did get a big hit on that guy. He penned the SU-122A, yes, we thought so, because it was a direct hit, wiped him out. And he got a pen on the Chaffee right up on top of the hill. Yes, we thought that one too, because obviously he got a big score when he actually finally did hit the target. And lastly, he penned the Gorilla. Yes, that shot, that lovely shot, which wiped him out one go. Yep, that was a pen shot. Let's have a look at the rest of the details. He hit 7 of the enemy, killed 4 of them, and he, on the premium count, he earned 41,808 credits. And after ammunition respawn, he only used standard HE. He actually made a massive profit of 36,944 credits. Nice for a tier 5. 1,149 XP times 2 for the first victory. 2,298 for completing a mission. 460 for this being a premium vehicle. And took away 5,056 experience points altogether. So, a very good round for ProvoBob. He did exceptionally well. He didn't move much, but then the enemy wasn't doing much in the way of counter batteries, so I don't think he really did need to move that much. And he was very kind, actually, to leave the cap for the SU-85 so he could cap out and get the Invader medal. And it's surprising that that SU-85 on the enemy team managed to score so much, but then he was up in the sniper's nest. And considering that some of the players on our team must have been bots, he was probably farming them, and that's why he ended up with a high caliber. I hope you enjoyed both those replays. It does kind of show that the FIFI, the 105 leFH18B2 is still fairly OP, still got its mojo, and so it's still a very good Arty to play. Even if you're not getting great results off the other Arty, this one will still give you good results. It's just unfortunate for Hawkeye that in that game he didn't end up winning, but that was only because he relocated to the other end, and by the time he got there, his teammates had all faded away and he was left alone to try and cap, and he couldn't get into the cap fast enough because he'd fallen in the water. He had to drive through the water to get to the other side and then cross back into cap across the bridge. But he wasn't quick enough to do that. The Hellcat started capping and there was no way he could cap out to beat the guy. So sadly a loss for Hawkeye, but a really good win there for ProvoBob. I hope you enjoyed that replay, or those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.